John aka Chicken Fillets here. Now on this channel, a couple of videos back, I did a video where I just basically timed myself and tried to recommend as many JRPGs as possible, and did that in a one-shot, one-take format. Now I'm going to do something slightly along those lines today, where I'm going to pick 10 JRPGs that you should play, picked at random. Hopefully the algorithm will pick up on that. So yes, this is going to be done in a one-shot, one-take format. Spoilers, mistakes, I'll try and keep the spoilers out here, but yeah, it's all go. So let's do the usual rigmarole of the YouTube guff. Yeah, I know we don't like it, but we want to help grow the channel, don't we? So, prepare yourself. If you like JRPGs, having JRPGs picked out for you in random, I like hearing a wee Scottish guy who's had way too much coffee before recording this video talking about it, well, please consider subscribing to the channel. Now, it's got to be a physical game from my collection, as you can see in my little game cupboard. So, the Steam Deck, sorry, it's out the window for this video. So I will be picking games at random off my shelf, talking about it, and just see how we get on. Just for word for the wise, this is the second attempt of recording this because I was halfway through talking about my first game, did all the intro buff, and it came up with a message on my phone saying storage low, and I was like, anyway, that guff out the way, let's have a look at the games behind here. Now, Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness will not appear in this video. Sorry, Luca from Fiato Gaming. The game can get poked. Let's start off with the mighty Nintendo Switch. I mean, we're not going to talk about that one today. Let us have a look. Okay. Now, we're not going to go for the usual. I would usually look at Xenoblade Chronicles or Final Fantasy, 7. Let's try and stick away from the usuals. Let's talk about this one. Digimon Cyber Sleuth, the complete edition. Now, I've kind of done myself a bit of a wrong in here because there's two games in one here. Let's just put this as one title. It is a collection of the Digimon Cyber Sleuth games, which there's two of. And these Digimon games are absolutely fantastic. I still don't understand to this day why we don't have more in this style. So it's a turn-based JRPG. It's got the monster collecting side of it, with you would expect with it being a Digimon game. The story is really fun. Now, with the original release, I originally played it on the PS Vita. Absolutely loved it, but there wasn't a physical version in the UK for the PS Vita. I know there was for the PlayStation 4. But when it came out for Nintendo Switch and had the second story, it was Hacker's Memory, so I had to look at the name of it. That one I need to put a bit more time into, but I really enjoyed the story of Cyber Sleuth. There is a bit of a lot of side quests in as well, which at the time, it's been a while since I've properly played the game, but I really enjoyed it. I don't see a lot of people talking about it, but it is class. So there we go, game one. Game one. Right. Let's have a look. We'll carry on with the Nintendo Switch because I do love myself a bit of the Nintendo Switch. We've done a game from... What side did I pick it from? Oh my god. I picked it from that side, didn't I? So let's go into the middle. Yuffie, you can move down on the Dreamcast. Oh, so many. Right, let's talk about this one. Fate Samurai Remnant, okay? The reason I picked this one, seeing it on my shelf, was because this was the first ever game that I got a review code for from Koei Tecmo. And then I went and bought it physical. Now, the code I got originally was for the PlayStation. It is a fantastic action JRPG. It takes a lot of inspiration that I've seen its combat from like the Dynasty Warrior style games, where there's multiple enemies on, attacking you in one go, and you're basically just destroying the enemy. I really enjoy the Fate series from what I've played, like the Fate Extra. I've said in one of my previous videos that I'm looking forward to the remake of Fate Extra, which is called Fate Extra Encore. So yeah, this one is really good, set in a samurai period. I mean, you'd expect that with the samurai name. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. This one, story is really good in it. a lot that you can play. There's different characters, etc., that you can have as your companions. So yeah, I would highly recommend this one. It goes on sale here and there. I know it's on PC, PlayStation. I'm not 100% on Xbox, so I don't know. But yeah, pick this one up. Game number 2. Let's stick on the Nintendo Switch side here. Right, if you start watching this channel because of Eric Ladd's recent video about JRPGs that suck, yeah, have you seen the comment section there? It's been wild. Right, let's talk about that game that I talked about. So we're going to talk about Super Mario RPG, because with that video that we talked about, the reason that this was included on that collaboration was because I fell victim to the hype train. So it is actually a good JRPG. I've always said on this channel that it is a great beginner's JRPG. In my eyes, it's okay. I didn't have the nostalgia for it because in the UK, we didn't get this game. I didn't play the SNES when growing up. I had a Mega Drive. So when I really started getting invested in YouTube videos and like start creating content myself, and you hear loads and loads of people getting hyped up for the game, and when it got the trailers released for it, I thought, wow, this game looks really good. And the game plays really well. The combat's fun. Everything about it's fun, but it was just fine for me. It was like it didn't meet up to that expectations because, like I said, like I programmed it to say, I fell victim to a hype train. If you've not played it, I would recommend it. And if you want to play JRPGs for the first time, I mean, if you're on a JRPG channel, you've not played a JRPG, I mean, fair enough. Hello, welcome. But yeah, Super Mario RPG is a great first-timer JRPG if you're looking for something easy. Right, game number 3. Let's have a look at some PlayStation games. So, I've got the PlayStation 5 games here. Let's talk about a Final Fantasy, but not the usual one, not Final Fantasy, no. Right. Okay. Bear with me. I like this title, and if you're in the UK, you can buy it brand new from Game for £8. That's how much they want rid of this game. It's Forspoken! Yay! Listen, Forspoken is an action JRPG. I have put some time into it. I need to put some more into it. It's a shorter JRPG from my understanding, so I need to properly get back to it. Now, what I did play of this, I really enjoyed it. The action combat's really fun with it, like the magic that you use in it. It's a character, like, a lot of the complaints is about the characterization of what's her name? Frey. A lot of people complain about her and some of the animations. Look, I didn't really pay much for this game. I mean, I enjoy it. Yeah, Forspoken. I mean, yeah, I like it. I don't see why people should not have it a wee gander. You know, it's not that expensive. Right, let's move on with a PlayStation 4 game. As I said, Star Ocean. Integrity and faithlessness can do one, so let's not talk about that. Right, okay, we're going to talk about Final Fantasy because I do love this title. And I recently put out a review for this on the Steam Deck. And it's Final Fantasy 15. Final Fantasy 15, the more and more I think about it, I'm going to have to do a new Final Fantasy ranking video because Final Fantasy 15 is in my top 3. After replaying it again, I really, really love this title. As much as it's got its faults, it was the JRPG which got me excited again. Once I got back into playing JRPGs, it was the first Final Fantasy that I got really invested up until the release. I was watching all the animes, the Brotherhood. There was Kingsglaive, I remember that coming out. Everything about it, I was just lapping right up. Gameplay, I just loved it. I just loved every second of it. I remember when I first played it, and I had a chest infection. I was off ill with work, and it was like my old job, and I was like pretty much like horrendously ill, and I played that all the way through in like one weekend. You just didn't really need to know that, but the fact of the matter is that this is an awesome game. I know that a lot of people may disagree with that. That's fine. It's still an awesome game to me, and this one actually has in it, which is cool, Kingsglaive on Blu-ray. And I Am Setsuna being advertised, which, by the way, if you've not played I Am Setsuna, that is a fantastic game. That's your freebie entry. So we've done a PS4, we've done that. Now, I'm looking at the PS1 games. I don't have much physical PS1 JRPGs apart from Final Fantasy, so we'll kind of skip that one. What number are we on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, let's look at the Nintendo 3DS. Now let's talk about I know. Let's talk about Yokai Watch, because Yokai Watch is an awesome JRPG series which I only really got into last year. My first experience of Yokai Watch was the games went on sale at Argos. Argos were getting rid of all their 3DS games for like £3. I picked up a whole heap. So I got Bravely Second. I got all like Yokai Watch 1 and Yokai Watch Bonus Spirits for £3 each. Loads of games. I mean, I wish I picked up on it more, quicker, because I would have got some utter bangers. I heard like Metroid, one of the Metroid games, which is really expensive, was cheap as well. But anyway, waffling on a bit. Yokai Watch 2 is essentially another kind of Pokemon style game, but you're based in a city, and it's really funny. The characters in it are great. The little yokai monsters are great. I mean, as you could see, I've got a Jibanyan on my shelf. That's how much fun I had with this game that I got a little figurine for the game room. The kind of it's turn-based. I want to say turn-based combat in it, but it's kind of automatic, and you select various attacks whilst they're auto-attacking, and you have to use the stylus. I called it in a previous video stylus turn-based combat, which is I still like that. But yeah, Yokai Watch 2. I really wish that I could play Yokai Watch 4 on the Switch, but we didn't get in the English edition. We didn't get an English edition. Yokai Watch 3 is like £200 in buying that second hand. Let's talk about the mighty PS Vita, because the PS Vita was one of the handhelds which I still think it's one of the greatest handhelds released. Let's move Tidus or Tidus or however it's pronounced. Please let me know in the comments down below. Right, so where is it? Right at the top, because if you picked up on that little tune that I was doing, it's one of the themes in this fantastic title, The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel. It is the first game that I played within the Legend of Heroes games. Absolutely love this series. The class setting of being in a war academy, a military academy should I say, class 7, ranged warrior, and I just thought the combat system was fantastic, because up until this point, the only real JRPGs that I played was really Final Fantasy VII. I had played Persona 4 Golden, which was like the breakaway JRPG for me, and then I moved on to this because of all the Watch Mojo videos and stuff I was seeing about 10 PS Vita games I usually play, and this was always cropping up in it. Absolutely like incredible world which has been crafted, and I didn't know at this point that there was this massive like other games. I didn't know about the Crossbell arc. I didn't know about the Trails into the Sky series. I didn't know about this, so my introduction was purely through Cold Steel. And then, like, once you finish this game, the story, I just, like, I got to get the next one, which I did, which is up there. And I just love the Cold Steel series. It is fantastic. If you've not played any sort of Legend of Heroes games, now there's a kind of debate which goes on about how you should be playing the Trails games. And from my personal experience, play the first title from an arc. Don't go straight into like Trails into Cold Steel 3. I mean, that would just not make sense from time to time. But yeah, that's my kind of 2 cents, you know. But anyway, moving on to another game. So we have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 3 more games to play. Right. So we've got the PSP. Yeah, I've got to make a quip about James from the review ting, because he's given up on the PSP. Now we've got that out of the way, let's talk about this one. Now, this was the first time that I experienced Star Ocean, the second evolution, because I picked it up for the PSP. I played this one before playing Star Ocean Second Story R, which is the remake of that game, and I loved this title. Loved this one in the PSP. Now, at the time when I bought it, it was quite expensive because this is when retro games were coming, you know, really starting to amp up the prices, and the PSP prices for this, I think, I thought the cartridge was out there, or the UMD, sorry. It's just the instructions. It was like nearly 25 to 30 quid, but I really wanted to play it and have it on my shelf. Yeah, I love this game. What one do I like better? This or Story R? Story R. Like, Second Story R is fantastic. I got that as a code for my Nintendo Switch from Square Enix, so thank you very much to them. But yeah, like, the Star Ocean Second Story R is a fantastic remake of the game. I mean, it's pretty much one for one. The graphics overhaul is just fantastic. So, I mean, yeah, definitely play it on there, but if you get the chance to play Second Story R, play it on there. It's another twofer. So, right, we've got 2 more to go. So we've done the PSP. Let's talk about... No. Right. I'll do a PS3 game, and then I'll do an Xbox game, and that should be us covered. Right. This game was recently re-released, should I say, on all major consoles, likes of Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and Nintendo Switch. It is a Tales game, if you know where I'm going with this. It is in my top 3 Tales games, and yes, it is the Tales of Grace's F. Absolutely fantastic Tales game. It has the linear motion battle system that rolls off the tongue more and more nowadays with talking about JRPGs all the time. But yeah, Tales of Grace's F is a utter banger. Utter banger of a title. The fact is, you play through different ages of these characters' lives. You have the Amnesiac girl, like, I'm trying to remember her name off the top of my head. But I just really love this one. Even like when you're growing, the characters are growing up, like the battle music changes depending on their ages. So the battle music has, like, when they're children, is done with like glockenspiels. Is that the words? You know, the woodwind and all the sort of instrumentation. And then when you get older, it gets more rockier. Glockenspiel. I cannot believe I just said glockenspiel on this channel. Anyway. Yeah, this is one of the, like, only PS3 JRPGs like I properly completed. So yeah, and Pascal. Yeah. Anyway, finally, let's move on to the last. And I said it was going to be an Xbox title. So let's talk about one of my favorites JRPGs on the Xbox. Because I had a whale of a time with it, and it's going to be a bit of a controversial one. Yeah, sorry. Final Fantasy XIII. Yes, if we're going to be talking about Final Fantasy XIII. But we're not going to be talking about the first entry, nor are we going to talk about the second entry. My favourite out of the three is Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII. I absolutely love this title. I don't know what it is about it, whether it's the combat, whether it's the kind of free form exploration I get. And yes, I know there's timings and timers, etc. But I really like that aspect of it. Was different open zones. And they was playing just as Lightning. Now, I like Lightning as a character on my shelf here. I mean, it shows that I like Lightning because I've got a Lightning figure, which is in its box up on my shelf. I like Lightning as a character. And this as well, I got the steel case for it. It came with the DLC, I think it was, for the different costumes you get, so you can play it as like sort of the Final Fantasy VII Buster Sword, like the garbs and everything, and you got the Final Fantasy X ones where you play as Yuna's dresses and everything. I really, really enjoyed the being able to change out your loadout, if that's the right term. It's just a really fun game. I know that there's a lot of disdain, I want to say, about the game. I really enjoyed it. And ending aside, yeah, I mean, I think it's a good game. The fun little details as well is like when you complete the game, when you can finish a battle, when you're using the Buster Sword, the victory music from Final Fantasy VII plays. It's little touches like that which stay with you as well. So like when you did the battle as the Final Fantasy X Unigarb, then that Final Fantasy X victory theme happened. I think there's a Final Fantasy X Part 2 costume as well, which does similar. I just really enjoyed it. And you got that little bit of freedom. Could they have done things differently? I would have liked to be no timer, or at least have a mode where you could remove the timer. But it's all about, the 13 days before the end of the world, Yeah. So anyway, 10 JRPGs that you should play picked at random. All done in one take. So yeah, thank you for putting up with the hyperness. But I thought I'd have fun with doing this recording today. So with that out of the way, what JRPG would you recommend to everyone? You know what to do when you get asked this by me. The comments are down there. Please leave a comment down below. Now, if you like what you're hearing and seeing on this channel, please help me grow it by liking, sharing and subscribing. And if you want to be kept up to date with everything Chicken Fillets, you know what to do. Hit that notification bell. This is me, John, aka Chicken Fillets. I've had way too much coffee. And until next time, tatty bye.